if you prepare this verse, otherwise we're supposed to start again today. First canto.
Yeah, it's the first canto.
Yeah. We finish both. Yeah. We can do every day in the first verse.
So we are fortunate to have Maharaja with us. Everybody's gone on Sankirtan, Prasad distribution. We are left alone, but Krishna sent us Maharaj. Anymore. Thank you. And we are starting again today. It's very special. We are starting again Srimad Bhagavatam, first canto, first chapter, first verse.
Before reciting Srimad Bhagavatam, which is very meant of conquers, one should offer respectful obeisances unto the Supreme Personality of Godhead Narayana, and to Nara Narayana Rishi, the supermost human being, unto Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, and unto Sri Vyasadeva, the author. By regular attendance on classes on Srimad Bhagavatam, and by rendering of service unto the pure devotees of the Lord, all that is troublesome to the heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the Personality of Godhead, whose praise with transcendental song is established as an irrevocable fact. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1, chapter entitled Questions by the Sages. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Janmadiyasya yatonvayaditaratau chadau abhigyaswaran. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavayo Muyanti Yat Suryaha. Tejo Varimrutam Yadabhinimayo Yatra Tirsargo Mrisam. Damna Svena Sada Nirastat Puhakam Satyam Param Dhimaye. Janmadiyasya yatonvayaditaratau chadau abhigyaswaran. Tene Brahma Hridaya Adikavayo Muyanti Yat Suryaha. Tejo Varimrutam Yada Vinimayo Yatra Trisargo Mrisa. Damna Svena Sada Nirastat Puhakam Satyam Param Dhimaye.
Damna Svena Sada Nirastat Puhakam Satyam Param Dhimaye.
Om. O my Lord, Namaha, offering my obeisances, Bhagavate, unto the Personality of Godhead, Vasudevaya, unto Vasudev, the son of Vasudev, O Lord Sri Krishna, the primeval Lord, Janmahadi, creation, sustenance, and destruction, Asya, of the manifested universes, Yadha, from whom, Anvayat, directly, Itaratha, indirectly, Cha, and Ardeso, purposes, Abhigya, fully cognizant, Swarat, fully independent, Tene, imparted, Brahma, the Vedic knowledge, Vrida, consciousness of the heart,
consciousness of the heart.
Ya,
Ya,
one who,
one who,
Adi Kavaye,
Adikavaye,
unto the original created being,
unto the original created being,
Moyanti,
Muyanti,
illusion,
illusion,
yet
yet,
about whom
about whom
Suraya,
Suraya,
great sages and demigods,
great sages and demigods,
Teja,
Teja,
fire,
fire,
Vari,
Vari,
water,
water,
Mridam,
Mridam,
earth,
earth,
Yada,
Yada,
as much
as much
as Vinimaya,
Vinimaya,
action and reaction,
action and reaction,
Yatra,
Yatra,
whereupon
whereupon
three samsarga,
three sarga,
three modes of creation,
three modes of creation,
creative faculties,
Creative faculty.
Amrisa,
Amrisa,
almost factual,
Almost factual.
Dhamna,
Dhamma,
along with all transcendental paraphernalia,
along with social paraphernalia,
Svena,
Vena,
self-sufficiently,
Self-sufficiently.
Sada,
Sada,
always,
always,
Nirasta,
Nirasta,
negation by absence,
negation by absence,
Guhakam,
Vahakam,
illusion,
illusion,
Satyam,
Satyam,
truth,
truth,
Param,
Param,
absolute,
absolute,
Dhimahi,
Dhimahi,
I do meditate upon.
meditate upon.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because He is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestations and is independent because there is no other cause beyond Him. It is He only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By Him even the great sages and demigods are placed unto illusion, as one is bewildered by the illusionary representations of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of Him do the material universes, temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of material nature, appear factual although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon Him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, which is forever free from the illusory representation of the material world. I meditate upon Him, for He is the absolute truth. Okay, there are very big properties here.
So every day you can read a little.
Every day read a little bit. Purport. Obeisances unto the personality of Godhead, Vasudeva, directly indicate Lord Sri Krishna, who is the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. This fact will be more explicitly explained in the text of this work. Sri Vyasadeva asserts herein that Sri Krishna is the originally personality of Godhead, and all others are His direct and indirect plenary portions or portions of the portions. Srila Jiva Goswami has even more explicitly explained the subject matter in his Krishna Sandarbha, and Brahma, the original living being, has explained the subject of Sri Krishna substantially in his treatise named Brahma Samhita in the Samaveda Upanishad, it is also stated that Lord Sri Krishna is the divine son of Devaki. Therefore, in this prayer, the first proposition holds that Lord Sri Krishna is the primeval Lord. And if any transcendental nomenclature is to be understood as belongs to the absolute personality of Godhead, it must be named and indicated by the word Krishna, which means the all-attractive. In Bhagavad Gita, in many places, the Lord asserts himself to be the original personality of Godhead, and this is confirmed by Arjuna, also by great sages like Narada, Vyasa, and many others. In the Padma Purana, it is also stated that out of the innumerable names of the Lord, the name of Krishna is the principal one. Vasudeva indicates the plenary portion of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all the different forms of the Lord being identical with Vasudeva are indicated in this text. The name Vasudeva particularly indicates the divine son of Vasudeva and Devaki. Sri Krishna is always meditated upon by the Paramahamsa, who are the perfected ones among those in the renounced order of life. So the purports are very long, and what we should do now, if we read all the purports, then we may finish the class by reading the purport today.
You give 5 classes, you can put all the purpose in 5 classes. Very auspicious, you start to Bhagavatam for us.
Okay. Om Ajnanatimmirandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chaksuranmalitameno Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobhistam Sapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Suyitapada Kamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavam Cha Sri Rupam Samgrajatam Sahagano Raghunathan Vidantam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Saidam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Srivisakan Vitam Cha He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopisa Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrisabhanu Sude Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchakalpaturubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evecha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasari Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya Janmadi Yasya Yatonvayat Itaratau Chartau Abhigyaswarat Tene Brahmadidaya Adikavayo Muyanti Yatsurayah Tejo Varimృతం Yada Vinimayo Yatrati Sargo Mrissa Damna Svena Sada Nirastat Vahakam Satyam Param Dhimayi. O my Lord Sri Krishna, son of Vasudeva, O all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. I meditate upon Lord Sri Krishna because he is the absolute truth and the primeval cause of all causes of the creation, sustenance, and destruction of the manifested universes. He is directly and indirectly conscious of all manifestation and is independent because there is no other cause beyond him. It is he only who first imparted the Vedic knowledge unto the heart of Brahmaji, the original living being. By him, even the great sages and demigods are placed into illusions, as one is bewildered by the illusory representation of water seen in fire or land seen on water. Only because of him do the material universes temporarily manifested by the reactions of the three modes of nature appear factual, although they are unreal. I therefore meditate upon him, Lord Sri Krishna, who is eternally existent in the transcendental abode, who is forever free from the illusory representation of the material world. I meditate upon him, for he is the absolute truth. So here, I would like to take the opportunity to thank all the devotees for being here this morning. It is by the grace, a great mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, we have got this great opportunity to come together and try to understand the subject matter of Krishna consciousness, which is ultimately will benefit our life while we are living in this world. And upon giving up our body, we will be transferred to the abode of the Lord, where those who have gone to the abode of the Lord, there is no requirement for them to come back to France. In the chapter 4, text 9, the Lord explains, Janma karma chame divyam ivam yogeti tatvataha tyakum deham punarjanma naitima miti soharjana. Those who truly understand the Krishna consciousness, the appearance of the Lord in this world, and His activities, upon giving up their body, they go back to the spiritual world and never come back to the, where? To France.
France, America, India, everywhere.
Yeah, at the moment today, this morning, those countries are not relevant to us. France is very relevant because we are seated in France. And because we desire to come back again to the material world, so we have given the opportunity. According to the desires we have got it from the previous life. Yam yam vapi smaran bhavam tajanti ante kalevaram tam tam ivaiti kaunteya saratat bhava bhavita. And whatever present thing at the time of death, he attains that body without fail. Ante kale chama mevam smaran mukva kalevaram ya prayati samad bhavam yatinatri antra samsaya. In the chapter 8:5 and chapter 8 text 6, Krishna explains that only by thinking Him alone and the thinking of Krishna to be very consistent always. Tasmat sarvesu kalesu ma manusmaran yudya chamayat pitamano buddhir mame vasyasi asamsayam. In the chapter 8 text 7, Krishna explains to Arjuna, by always thinking of Him with the mind and intelligence and engaged in our duty of life, Krishna declared, promised that certainly we will go back to Him. So by the mercy of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada, we have got this great opportunity to come and live in the holy dham of New Mayapur. According to the Shastra, there are 5 kinds of Vrindavan is mentioned. Vrindavan means a place where there is no fear, there is no sorrow, there is no anxiety, there is no any kinds of perplexities or calamities. Vrindavan means always conscious of Krishna. So according to the Shastra, there are 5 kinds of Vrindavan is there. One is the real Vrindavan known as Goloka Vrindavan, the eternal abode of the Supreme Lord. The second is called Bhauma Vrindavan, that is in the earthly planet where Lord Krishna appeared 5,000 years ago. There is Vrindavan in Mathura, India, where 5,000 years ago, where Krishna displayed all his wonderful pastime with all of his gopis and his associates. And those activities all were beyond the time factor of the material world. And today we are going to Vrindavan. It's not the same kinds of Vrindavan what we heard from His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada or from the books written by him. Because today's Vrindavan seems to be not exactly same. Today people found Vrindavan to be very dirty and the Yamuna river is very much polluted. And the residents of Vrindavan, many were not really interested in Krishna consciousness. Somewhere or other we see the dog stool, pig stool and many things. Today we see a kind of contaminated Vrindavan because we are not able to see those things with the spiritual eyes. Adas Sri Krishna Namadi Nabhave Griyam Indriya Sevan Mukhe Jivaro Swayameva Spriti Hada. Only when our consciousness are purified in the service of the Supreme Lord, then we are able to experience the Vrindavan is mentioned by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada by his words and by his books. So in this way, today's Vrindavan, it doesn't look exactly the same as previous Vrindavan, because previous Vrindavan is called Bhauma Vrindavan. And today's Vrindavan, with all kinds of contamination, it is known as the Dristinya Vrindavan. Dristinya Vrindavan. D-R-I-S. Dristinya Vrindavan.
What you think?
It means this Vrindavan is like a contaminated Vrindavan. It's not exactly like the same Vrindavan 5,000 years ago where the gopis were there, beautiful Yamuna river filled with beautiful water, and the peacocks and the cows, the calves and all these things almost have disappeared from the other Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. So today we see some sort of shortage in the Vrindavan, that even people are worried to go and take bath in the Yamuna river because so much of pollution is coming from the industry from Delhi. And today hardly you can see any peacocks around. I went to Vrindavan first time in 1987. Everywhere they were full of peacocks. Then the Yamuna river was very clean, full with wonderful, water. So in this way, today Vrindavan is called Bhauma Vrindavan. Somewhere the people don't appreciate today's Vrindavan because they think it's not very clean. But that is because we don't have that kind of bhakti in our heart. So we are not able to witness the Bhauma Vrindavan 5,000 years ago. So the first Vrindavan is Goloka Vrindavan, the abode of the Supreme Lord. And the second Vrindavan, when the Lord came to the world 5,000 years ago to spread an important message for the ultimate benefit of the human society, that is called Bhauma Vrindavan. And after 5,000 years of the disappearance of the Lord from this present earthly planet, there is so much of contamination have come into the pollution has come into the heart of the living being with the great material, sense gratification. So today that Vrindavan looked a bit different. There's a third Vrindavan, it's called Risinya Vrindavan. The fourth is called Riddhi Vrindavan. There's a Vrindavan within the heart of all living being. Lord Radha and Krishna are seated in the heart of every living being. And when the Radha and Krishna are there are also gopis are there are cows are there, calves are there, Yamuna river, Govardhan hill, everything is also in the heart of a living being. That is called Riddhi Vrindavan. And the fifth is called Gupta Vrindavan, that the devotee, great devotee, pure devotee, like His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, being always carrying the Vrindavan in their heart, they desire that should be a Vrindavan in France, Paris, and He created this beautiful new Mayapur, which is also another Vrindavan in the earthly planet. So in this way, the pure devotees of the Lord is able to create Vrindavan in many places. Like Prabhupada traveled around to many different countries. He has established 108 temples, and all these temples also to be accepted, seen as the Vrindavan. So in this way, we've been given this great opportunity to come and live in this Vrindavan, in the France, New Mayapur, by the great mercy of His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. One time, one of the devotees, disciple of Prabhupada, has inquired from Prabhupada that according to the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna inquired a question to Lord Krishna. In the chapter 6, text 37 of the Bhagavad Gita, Ayati Srayopeta Yoga Chalita Manasa Aprapya Yoga Samsiddhim Kamgatim Krishna Gacchati. Arjuna inquired to Krishna what happens to the unsuccessful yogi in this world. They have taken up Krishna consciousness and they are not able to complete their Krishna consciousness. Halfway through, they have been attracted to some other activities in this material world. They are not able to continue. What happened to the unsuccessful yogi in this world? Kashi nobhaya viharastas chinnam brahmeva nasyate apratisto mahabhavo Brahmano hi patik. Arjuna asks, is there people who have given up Krishna consciousness halfway? Are they lost in the material world, also in the spiritual world? Like the clouds have been pushed away by the blow of the wind. Is that everything is lost for them, those who have given up Krishna consciousness halfway? And Krishna told Arjuna in the chapter 18, text 40, that Naiva Partha Naivaya Namudra Vinasa Sasya Vidyate Nahi Kalyana Krit Kasya Durgati Tata Gachati. Arjuna, those people who have participated in the auspicious activities of Krishna consciousness, there is no loss for them within the material world, and there is no loss for them also in the spiritual world. He says that Prapya Punya Kirtan Lokam Usitve Saswate Sama Suchinam Srimatam Ge Yoga Nastu Parantapa. In the chapter 6, text 41, Krishna says that those who have given up the Krishna consciousness halfway through of their life, in next life they'll be born in a devotee family where from the very beginning of their life they'll be able to continue from where they have left from the previous life, or they'll be born in an aristocratic family where they'll be using the wealth in the service of the Lord. Tatra tambudi samyogam labate purudayikam yatate chatatapuya samsiddhim kurunandana. In this way, whichever way they have left their Krishna consciousness in their previous life, they will revive in this present life in the material world. So there was a question by the disciple to Srila Prabhupada. They said this is the statement by Krishna in the Bhagavad Gita in the chapter 637 onward, that the unsuccessful yogi, they will be born in a rich family, or they will be born in a devotee family, and they will continue from where they have left. But our situation, the disciple told Prabhupada, our situation is that we are not born in a rich family. Some of us, we have not born in a rich family. And we are also not born in a devotee family. How we got this opportunity to take up Krishna consciousness? For that, Prabhupada answered, I've created that opportunity for you. We should not think we are very intelligent. Looking back at our own birth in this material world, some of us, we are not born in a devotee family, and we are also not born in an aristocratic family where we utilize our wealth in the service of the Lord, but we are able to become a devotee of Krishna because simply this opportunity been created by His Divine Grace as Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Brahmanda Brahmita Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade Pai Bhakti Latta Bija. That for many lifetimes we are wandering around the 14 planetary system of this material universe. Bhagya means when a person becomes fortunate, he meets the pure devotees of Krishna and he gets the opportunity to be connected in Krishna consciousness. In this way, the miseries of their life been taken away from them. So in the similar way here, Lord Brahma, he gets this great opportunity to be heard the Vedic knowledge from the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here Vyasadeva established Krishna to be the Satyam Param Dhimahi, that is the absolute personality of Godhead. And Prabhupada in the purport mentioned that not only Arjuna accepted Krishna to be the Supreme, but also all the other sages. In the chapter 10, text 12 and 13, these slokas has been mentioned. Param Brahma, Param Dhamma, Pavitram, Paramam Bhavam, Purusam Sattvatam Divyam Adim Devam Ajam Vibhum, Ahum Swarasaya Sarve Deva Rishi Narada Sata Asito Devalo Vyaso Swayam Chala Pravishime. That there Arjuna says that I accept you to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. You are the Supreme Abode. You are the purest of pure in the world. Not only I accept you to be the Supreme, but all other sages like Narada, like Asita, Devala, Vyasa, all the great sages also accept you to be the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So in this way, somewhere or other, we the living entities in this world, we are enchanted by the three modes of material nature. We are deluded by the modes of material nature, and we are not able to understand this subject matter. We don't even know what is our origin in this material world. We don't even know the purpose of the creation of this material world. We don't even know why we have come to this world. We don't even know why we are living in this world. We don't even know why we have to die. And we don't even know what happens after death. In this way, people in the material world remain like a two-legged animals. Prabhupada called them a polished animal. They are very highly educated, but the activities is worse than animal in the world. Ahara nidra bhaya maitunam cha samanyamite pasubir naranam dharme tesu avidku visesu dharmena yina pasubir samanam. The Shastra says Eating, sleeping, mating and defending are very common activities for animals and human beings. We are eating, the animals are eating, they are sleeping, we are also sleeping, the animals are mating, we are also mating, animals also defend their life, try to protect themselves, we also try to do that. So if you really study the subject matter of the activities of life of human and animal, there are no much of difference in their lifestyle. Only thing is that we've been sent to the school to study. We've been sent to the college and university to be educated so that we can eat better, we can sleep better, we can mate better, and we can defend better. In this way we can become a better animals in this world. The only difference is that dharme iteso avikavise. So the principle of religion laid down by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, that's the only thing differentiate between animal and human being. So here Lord Krishna gives that important Vedic knowledge, the principle of dharma to Lord Brahma, so that our life can be transformed different from the animals, and we can find the solution to the problem of life. Just like Sanatan Goswami, when he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sanatan Goswami asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Apanara ita ita kichuna hi jane gramya bhayare padita sai satya mane ke hame kene amaya jarata patraye. Sanatan Goswami told Chaitanya Mahaprabhu that people call me as a very learned person, a rich person, very intelligent person, holding a very good position in the government. I've simply trusted them, whatever they said, but I'm such a fool that I simply trusted them, whatever they say. But I look at my life, I don't like to take birth in this world, I don't like to grow old, I don't like to become diseased, I don't like to die. But why am I being forced into this miserable condition of life? Please tell me, who am I, and who am I? The moment a human being asks this question, then their human life is begin. As long as they don't inquire about this reality of life, they remain as the two-legged animals of this world. And to the question of Sanatan Goswami, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jiva re Swarupai Krishna re Nityadas, Krishna re Tatata Sakti, Veda Prakash. He said, every living being in this world, the eternal servant of Krishna. He said, Krishna has got three Sakti. He has got the three Sakti. And one is called the Andaranga Sakti, spiritual energy. Another one is called Bahiranga Sakti, the material energy. Another one is called Tadasa Sakti, the marginal energy of the Lord. So even though the living being, the human beings, they are originally the Andaranga Sakti, they are spiritual energy of the Supreme Lord. But due to their minute, due to the misuse of their minute independence, that they have decided to separate themselves from Krishna. And separately they wanted to experience the enjoyment of life. For that reason, Krishna has created the France, so that we desire to come to France and be educated in the subject matter of material way of life and become a two-legged animals, and then we are taken back again by the Yamudutas and be sent back again to the material world as a two real four-legged animals, as a dog, and we try to enjoy again and again and again and again. In this way, the human life is spoiled, even though they got the better environment, better arrangement, their consciousness is totally developed. There are 5 kinds of consciousness is there: Avrita Chetana, Sankuchita Chetana, Mukuchita Chetana, Vikachita Chetana, Purna Vikachita Chetana. There are 5 kinds of consciousness is there on the living being in this world. There are 8,400,000 species of life. Jalaja Navalakshani Stavara Lapsa Vimsati Krimayo Rudra Sankyaka Pakshinam Dasa Lakshanam Trimsa Lakshani Pasuha Chato Lakshani Manusa. There are 900,000 species are living as aquatics in the water. There are 2 million plants and trees in this world. There are 1.1 million insect and reptiles. There are 1 million different kinds of birds. There are 3 million four-legged animals, 400,000 human beings. And among all those things, there are 5 kinds of consciousness have been there for the living being. One is called the Avrita Chetana, is the covered consciousness. Mainly the covered consciousness are there on the non-moving living entities in this world, like some mountains, some trees and plants, non-moving things. Their consciousness is covered. And there are living beings, those who are animals in this world. They are called as Sankuchita Chetana. Their consciousness is shrunken consciousness. And the other 3 consciousness is the budding consciousness, blossomed consciousness, and totally blossomed consciousness remain with the human being. So human beings are considered to have a total developed consciousness. When you become a devotee of Krishna, that means your consciousness is fully developed. When you don't want to become a devotee of Krishna, either your consciousness is a covered consciousness like a tree and plants, or your shrunken consciousness like the animals, or you're very in a lower developed consciousness like the karmis, budding consciousness. In this way, human being has been given a great facility, great opportunity that they can revive their consciousness, a Krishna consciousness. And to do that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told Sanatana Goswami, Nitya Shira Krishna Prema Chadiya Kabunaya Sravanadi Chuda Chite Karaya Udaya, that by hearing the wonderful message of Krishna, one can revive their Krishna consciousness and they can solve the problem of their life where they don't have to take birth again in the material world. So in this way, when Brahma was created by the Lord, Brahma was also in great ignorance, in illusion. He was not knowing why he was created first of all. He doesn't know why he has been created, what is his purpose of this creation, what he has to do in his life. And he was going through, coming down on the lotus stem. He is trying to come to the spring of the lotus to see where he has begun, where his creation has been started from. So Brahma is not able to trace about his birth in this world, the purpose of his birth in this world. At that moment, there was a word appeared from the Lord called tapa. Tapa means austerity. And Brahma heard the word tapa, then he meditated for 1,000 years. Even Brahma has to meditate for 1,000 years to identify his position in this world and live accordingly. So after 1,000 years of meditation of Brahma, then he heard the sound, flute sound from the Krishna, where from the 8 years of Lord Brahma, the flute sound has gone in, and from the mouth of Lord Brahma, now the Gayatri mantra, the Vedic knowledge have appeared. So in this way, here the first canto, first chapter and first text of Srimad Bhagavatam, that Vyasadeva accepts, identify and recognize Krishna to be the ultimate source of everything in the world. Identify this thing. So it can be possible for us to revive our Krishna consciousness by the message of Sri Krishna himself. In the Canto 1, Chapter 2, Text 17, there Sutta Goswami explains that Srinvadam Swakada Krishna Punya Sravanam Kirtanam Hridayantosto Abhadrani Vidonoti Suharit Satam, that it's been explained by hearing about the message of Lord Krishna, our heart becomes purified. And our Krishna consciousness, revival of our Krishna consciousness will be established once our heart is cleansed. For that reason, in the second verse, in the Canto 1, chapter 2, text 18, been mentioned again, Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevaya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke Bhakti Bhavati Naistikim, that one should always regularly sit and hear the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. There are two kinds of Bhagavatam is there. One is the book Bhagavatam, another one is the devotee Bhagavata. So in this way, in that verse it says that Nasta Prayesu Abhadresu Nityam Bhagavatam Sevya Bhagavati Uttama Sloke. By taking shelter of Srimad Bhagavatam, every day hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam and rendering of service unto the pure devotees of the Lord, all the troublesome in our heart is almost completely destroyed, and loving service unto the personality of Godhead is established as an irrevocable fact. And again in the Canto 1, chapter 2, text 19, Sutta Goswami establishes Tada Raja Stamo Bhave Kama Lobha Daya Chaya Chetar Etam Anavritam Sitam Sadvam Prasidati. When a person hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is rendering service to the devotees of the Lord, he will be established to the mode of goodness. When hearing Bhagavatam and rendering service to the devotees, all the influences of the mode of ignorant and mode of passionate will be removed, and will be established with the mode of goodness. You cannot understand Bhagavatam, you cannot understand Krishna consciousness if you sit on the mode of ignorant and passionate. One should be uplifted to the mode of goodness. Evam prasanna manasam bhagavad bhakti yogata bhagavad tattva vijnana mukta sangasya jayate. Again in the Canto 1, chapter 2, text 20, been established that when a person is sitting and hearing the Bhagavatam, is rendering service to the Vaishnavas, he will be lifted to the mode of goodness, and when he is uplifted to the mode of goodness, he finds peace within their heart, and mukta sangasya jayate, they will be given the mukti, liberation from all kinds of troublesome of life. In the Canto 1, chapter 2, text 21, again Sutta Goswami establishes Vidyate Hridaya Grantim Chidyate Sarva Samsaya Siyante Chasya Karmani Dristayi Vatmanisvare. When the Bhagavatam is being heard, when service to the devotees are rendered, Vidyate Hridaya Sarvam, there will be a penetration. The heart will be penetrated with the message of Krishna. Hridaya, there whatever contamination in the heart will be removed, and whatever misinformation been given to us, the whole material world, so-called modern education, modern civilization, all have given us wrong information in the material world. And because unfortunate situation, we haven't got the association of devotees, and we've been associating with all the so-called politicians, so-called scientists who are like a donkey and monkey. They are not able to give us the right information for us in this world. And now it says, by hearing the Srimad Bhagavatam, that all the misinformation given to us will be clear. And he says that Siyante Chasya Karmani. Now all the karma, the reaction of our life will be taken away from us. So you have to trust, you have to start believing, trust the divine grace. As Bhakti Vedanta Swami Prabhupada. Prabhupada says, don't simply say Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada, Jai Prabhupada. He says, speak as what I have spoken and do what I have done, all success will be there. So there is no lacking of any knowledge in Krishna consciousness. There is no lacking of any advancement in Krishna consciousness. If we can focus into two things, the reading of the Srimad Bhagavatam and rendering of service to the Supreme Lord, then automatically we are not bothered by all these so-called advancement scientists of this world. There was a boy, he went and asked his father, 9-year-old boy asked his father, Papa, where we have come from? The Papa says, you're going to school, you're reading Darwin's book, don't you understand that we are coming from monkey? And he went to his mother in the kitchen, he asked the mother, where do we have come from? The mother says, my dear boy, we are coming from God. But the boy said, but Papa said we come from monkey. Mother said, your Papa family come from monkey. So all the Darwin family coming from monkey. And Krishna established in the 14th form, Sarvayoni Sukaunteya Murtaya Sambhavanti Tasam Brahma Mahatyonir Aham Bija Pradapita. So in this way, when the devotee gets an opportunity to read Srimad Bhagavatam, hear Srimad Bhagavatam, the assembly of the devotees, and another thing is that he only can understand by the Bhagavatam properly by rendering service unto the devotees of the Lord. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, Devananda Pandit is a great scholar and he can speak Bhagavatam very nicely. And many students will go to his place to hear Bhagavatam. He is a very good speaker. And one time Srivas Pandit also, he was passing through the place, he saw that many are sitting and hearing Bhagavatam and he knows Devananda speaks very nicely. So he went and sat to hear. And being a very pure devotee of Krishna, he was able to feel the symptoms of the Bhagavatam. He sees Krishna through the Bhagavatam. He feels the symptom of Krishna consciousness. And he was a bit, rolling on the ground and he was, big crying. And the other students, they found, he be like a disturbance. They found he's like, mad fellow. And they thought, better we throw him out. So they picked him up and then they throw him out. But Devananda Pandit, he's a Bhagavatam reciter. He knows about the message. He knows. Srivas Pandit is a great devotee of the Lord. But then it did not stop when they were insulting him, him in the audience. So for that reason, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came to know about the attitude of Devananda Pandit. And Mahaprabhu one day was passing through his place and he was reciting. Mahaprabhu said, this guy speaks Bhagavatam very nicely, but what he understood about Bhagavatam? Then he doesn't serve the Vaishnava, doesn't respect the Vaishnava. Mahaprabhu said he will never understood the real meaning of the Bhagavatam. So from then onward, Mahaprabhu always tried to avoid Devananda Pandit. And Devananda Pandit could feel that Mahaprabhu is avoiding him. And he feels also very sorry for himself. But then again, he also, Vaishnava, he could rectify his position. And one time he went to the Sankirtan, singing and dancing of Vakreshwar Pandit. Vakreshwar Pandit, he can sing the holy name, he can dance for 36 hours without, non-stop he can do. And many people would like to come and see how he's singing, how he's dancing for so many hours. So in this way, one time Devananda Pandit was offended Srivas Pandit. He went to see Vakreshwar Pandit, Kirtan. And Vakreshwar Pandit very nicely singing and dancing. For 6 hours he'd been singing and dancing there, and all the big crowd of people came to see singing and dancing, and everybody wants to go and try to touch his body, try to touch his feet. And Vakreshwar Pandit tried to protect, Devananda Pandit tried to protect Vakreshwar Pandit. In this way, when Vakreshwar Pandit sit down to take some rest, he made a nice place for him to sit. He take a cloth and wipe his body, all the sweat, and then he gives him water to drink. So he also very nicely served Bakreshwara Pandit. And Mahaprabhu, after Mahaprabhu taken sannyas, he came to Kulyagram. At that time, Devananda Pandit, he came from very distant. He saw Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and he was very reluctant, very shy to come near to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu because he knows that Mahaprabhu was not happy with him. So Mahaprabhu called him and he paid obeisances. Mahaprabhu says that, no, I'm not very happy with you because you have offended Srivas Pandit. Srivas Pandit is a very great devotee. Even you speak Bhagavatam, if you offend a Vaishnava, he said you will never understand the true meaning of the Bhagavatam. No, there are offences we should avoid. There are 6 offences known as the Vaishnava Aparad. Killing of a Vaishnava is an Aparad and offences. No, blaspheming, talking bad about devotees and Aparad. Ill thinking, always thinking bad about the devotees and Aparad offences. And not liking to see the devotees and Aparad. And angry upon seeing a Vaishnava as an Aparad. And not offering obeisances when seeing the Vaishnava is also an offences. Mahaprabhu told him, when you make all these offences, how are you going to understand Bhagavatam? He says, I'm able to give you darshan for you today because you have served Bakreshwara Pandit. And Bakreshwara Pandit was very happy with you. Then he blessed you that you will get a Krishna Prem. And for that reason, I have also taken your obeisances. But you cannot attain Krishna Prem by offending Srivas Pandit. You have to go back to him. And you have to, say sorry to him, seek for forgiveness. Then Srivas Pandit forgives you. Then you will understand Srimad Bhagavatam nicely. You will understand the meaning and you will attain the prem of Krishna. So important that today we are starting with the Canto 1, Chapter 1, Text 1 of Srimad Bhagavatam. Janmadi yasya thanvayat itaradau chardau abhigya swarat Tene Brahma Hridayo Adikavayo Muyanti Yat. That within the heart of Brahmaji, Krishna is able to impart the Vedic knowledge, and very important the Vedic knowledge for us to understand. And the Srimad Bhagavatam is a very important scripture. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Maharaj says that in this world of all other scriptures are burned into ashes. If that one book, Srimad Bhagavatam, remain, he says, don't worry about all other scriptures in the world. So we have given this great opportunity by the blessing of His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada. Let us be grateful to His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Prabhupada. Remain in his organization and serve the Vaishnava devotees. And you're already living in the holy dham of New Mayapur. I said earlier, there are 5 kinds of Vrindavan is there. The 5th one is called Gupta Vrindavan. That a Vrindavan created by the pure devotees of Krishna. A Prabhupada was sitting in real Vrindavan, in Vrindavan, Mathura. He was very happy, very satisfied with Krishna consciousness, but he saw the trouble of the world and he wants to give Vrindavan to the entire material world. For that reason, he departed from Vrindavan. And because the Vrindavan is already in his heart, he brings Vrindavan and he sacrificed his whole life to come to this part of the world. And I was driven by Sundari Mataji and Bhagavad Dharma. 700 kilometers they have driven from, and drove me from, we started in Holland. So I was not very happy because they are getting old, giving them so much trouble to come. And then, coming into very deepest part of the country, don't even know where this is situated. But Prabhupada has got a purpose why he has to come and create this Vrindavan. And if you can understand the purpose of Prabhupada, why he has created, and if you work on that purpose, surely that will be the great contribution from all of you for the people of France. In this way, let us continue reading Bhagavatam tomorrow. And also I've been asked to give a talk on the Bhagavad Gita tonight. Very important. Prabhupada said first thing the devotee should read Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is the ABCD of the spiritual book. And after reading Bhagavad Gita, they should read Bhagavatam, graduation. And after reading Bhagavatam, they should Chaitanya Charitamrita, they should read postgraduate. In this way, you are eligible to go back to Goloka Vrindavan. Very easy. You've been given a ticket and you've been, placed, in order to go back to Krishna. It's only you're waiting for the chariot to come from the Vaikuntha. Beautifully, one of the Halwari says, if you go to India, you go to the village of India, there's a bus stop in every village of in India. But the buses never follow the time in India. So there are men, they come and sit at the bus stop waiting for the bus to come, but bus, it may delay 2-3 hours. But while waiting for the bus, they will take their cards, they will play the cards around. They have a little bit of entertainment. And they play the cards around, then they wait for 2-3 hours. When the bus comes, they pack everything, they get into the bus and go. So Alva says devotee life is like that. Their buses, they're waiting for the chariot to come. And meanwhile, we are playing a little bit in France. So you play a little bit in France. In connection with Krishna consciousness, when the chariot comes, you say goodbye to France and go back to the spiritual world. That's it, finish. You have done your part for the ultimate benefit of the world. Like Prabhupada said, my Guru Maharaj pushed me, I pushed you, you pushed others. The same way we leave something behind so that other devotees can do something in Krishna consciousness. Thank you so much for being here today. Hare Krishna. Anybody got any questions or any doubts? Yeah, Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj. In the beginning, you were mentioning how if the devotee didn't attain perfection in his Krishna consciousness, then he will take birth in the Vaishnava family. How to understand that we see practical example, we see so many kids that they take birth in Vaishnava families, but they have absolutely no interest throughout their lives to ever take this Krishna consciousness. And some other souls, they take birth in horrible families, but they have this yearning since childhood to know about the truth. So how to understand this?
Very difficult to understand anything in the material world. You need the blessing of a pure devotee and Krishna himself. But being living being, Iswara, Harasabhyamrita, Iswara Parakrishna, only Krishna is the only master in this world. Everyone else are the servant of Krishna. That means Krishna has got total freedom and independence. The living entity has been given minute independence all the time. It doesn't mean that you become a devotee, you're independent and your freedom is taken away. The freedom is always there. So you misuse the freedom. Like Prabhupada one time was flying and Prabhupada was praying, and one of the devotees asked Prabhupada, what you are praying? Prabhupada says, I pray to Radharani that I will never fall down. A devotee says, Prabhupada, you are pure devotee, how you can fall down? Prabhupada says that Krishna is always there, the Maya is always there. He said, Krishna is standing on your right hand side and Maya is standing on your left hand side. Before I came to Krishna consciousness, Prabhupada said, I was looking at Maya on my left hand side. And Maya been slapping me, and one day I become tired of Maya. I turn away from Maya, then this side Krishna is smiling. He is standing with a nice flute and smiling. So I was enjoying the flute sound of Krishna, enjoying. But it doesn't mean the Maya from your left hand side has gone away. Krishna is always there, the Maya is always there. The moment I turn away from Krishna, again Maya is ready to slap you. He says, important always you pray to Radha that you'll never fall down. Because of minute independence, the living entities, they, somewhere or other attracted to the delusion condition of life. And Krishna says in the 7:14, Daivi Sugunamai Mama Maya Duratya Mamivi Prapachante. Maya mitam dharantite. Only by surrendering to Krishna, one will be easily overcome the influence of Maya. And Prabhupada gives a very good example. He says, a rich man, normally those days, they learn shooting. And sometimes they take a live pigeons, a live pigeon they take with them. They throw the live pigeon to fly. When the pigeon started to fly, they will, try to learn to shoot from the flying pigeon. So in this way, Prabhupada said one time one rich man took 3 pigeons with him to, try this thing. And then the pigeons was in the cage. He took out one pigeon and then he threw the pigeon away from him. And the pigeon started to fly. And this man, he focused at the pigeon flying and he shot, and then the pigeon got shot dead. And he took the second pigeon, threw away, started to fly. And the pigeon started to fly, he focused and then he shot dead the second pigeon. Prabhupada said the third pigeon was the Hare Krishna pigeon. And Hare Krishna very, very intelligent, observed, the first pigeon tried to fly, the first shot killed the first pigeon, second started to fly away from him, he got killed. Now I shouldn't fly away from him. So instead of flying up, he fall at the feet of the shooter and is not able to shoot. Prabhupada says, similar way, we the living being given freedom to fly. You fly away from Krishna. Maya shoots you down. But the devotee understands, instead of flying away from Krishna, fall his lotus feet, Maya won't be able to shoot you. So due to the misuse of that minute independence. So devotee should be always very conscious, very cautious that Maya is always there, Krishna is always there, but when Krishna says Krishna Surya Sama, Maya Haya Andakara, Krishna is like a sun and Maya is like a darkness. When there is a sunlight, there is no question of darkness. So in this way, when we misuse, only 2 reasons the devotee can fall down in this world. Only 2 reasons. One, you keep away from the association of Vaishnavas. Second, you start offending the Vaishnavas, you will fall in Hare Krishna consciousness. That's all. If you are not very expert devotee, you don't know how to give class, you don't know how to recite slokas, you don't know how to do the arati, you do not know, you only may be able to wash the toilet, keep the toilet clean, or you just hang around taking prasad and you never fall down. You go back to Vaikuntha, because go back to Vaikuntha in Kali Yuga very easy. You don't need any qualification to go back, you just remain in the environment of the devotees, and he serves the devotees, you go back to Vaikuntha. This was said by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. He says that samsara sarpa driste murchitanam kalau yuge ausadim bhagavan nama tasmad vaishnavasya avanam. He says that out of 64 angas of bhakti, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya said 2 becomes the most important. He said those who are bitten by the snake of Maya in this world, fall unconscious. Only way to revive their consciousness, he said that they should always chant the Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare. Another one, Tasmad Vaishnava Sevanam, always serve the Vaishnava. He said you go back to Vaikuntha, very easy. Chant Hare Krishna and serve the Vaishnavas, you go back, very easy. So thank you so much for your time here today. And I was told today is 7th evening, there's going to be a Bhagavad Gita. So very important book, Bhagavad Gita. So I will do the class on the introduction of the Bhagavad Gita today, and we'll do the essence of the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita tomorrow. Hare Krishna. Then you will be given a certificate to go back to Vaikuntha. Hare Krishna. Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaura Pramanande.
Jai Bhakti Mukunda Maharaja ki
Jai Srila Prabhupada ki jai.